Might as well use this opportunity to talk a little bit about banjos, old style banjo design, things of that nature. This here is what you call a spun over pot. It means that this piece of, this is nickel plated brass, and the nickel plated brass is spun over the rim and cupped up underneath the edge of the wood right there. Now this is a cheaper banjo, and it's got a ring around here, but it's not spun over. It's just a ring of metal that somebody wrapped around a wooden pot, and the sound tone's, you know, quite different. This doesn't have much for a sound tone going. One of the things they did do on this banjo is they put a double boatload of, you know, shoes and hooks on here. And, you know, for my purposes, that gives me a few extra shoes and hooks in case I want to pull one of these off and put on this banjo. I noticed somebody's got one new one right here that I could replace with one of these old ones, especially if these nuts are the same size. There's nothing more frustrating than going around a banjo adjusting the head and having different size nuts on it. Of course, this one's got quite a few. It's not got quite as many as this one, but it's got quite a few on it. A lot of people used to think that the more they had on there, the more they's worth, I guess, or at least they act that way when they put them on eBay sometimes, but I don't know. But anyway, I think I'm going to just go ahead and start taking this thing apart, and I think I will, just because this is quite encrusted with dirt and dust and grime. It would actually look pretty good if it was, you know, nothing fancy. Just take it apart and wash it, and then put it back together. It's kind of a lot of work to get it apart, but it's worthwhile. So I think I'm gonna get me a tuna fish can or something to put all these nuts and bolts in, so I can get it back together and just start gently taking this thing apart. I'll also take a neck off, which basically means I'm going to pop this screw out right here, and I'm going to loosen this bolt back here, the tail piece into, and then that neck will just slide right out of there, and that'll make it a lot easier for me to have that neck free to work on it. I got to rework the fifth string nut up here, and I hadn't exactly figured out what I'm going to do with that, but I'll sort it all out as I go. I did email the feller. His name is John also. This belonged to a guy named John Reed Durham down in Kentucky. He's passed away now. But the feller that sent me this, his name is John too, and I was telling him about how this is wore out here, and if he wanted to play it with a fret down below this, it'd be fine. I like to not replace something like this, because that man's playing and his fingers is what wore that out, and if you think about it, that's kind of like his signature. So rather than change it, I'd just soon leave it if you could. But if you put a fret right there, you can still play the banjo just fine without it. And he says he's good with that, so that's the direction we're going to go in. So with that said, somebody's got some various and sundry signatures and writing on here. I don't know what all that adds up to, but oh, that says Slingerland right there. Slingerland on that banjo head. Slingerland was another banjo making company too. I don't know. I don't know. I started to say I don't believe this is the original head. I believe this head was replaced since this thing came new from the factory. Just the only thing that makes me believe that is where you can see where whoever replaced it didn't trim it real clean here. But still a good head. Okay, I'll get it apart. We'll go from there.